right, so let's get started with the class. Do you guys know atomic numbers of elements from 1 to 20?
Yes, ma'am.
Does everybody know it? Wait, I'll just start a poll and then you guys can tell me. Okay, so a lot of people don't know. Okay, interesting. All right, so this is something you guys have to know, all right? You need to know the atomic numbers of elements from 1 to 20. This is absolutely essential, not just for this particular class, but until, like even if you don't want to pursue chemistry, you will still have to know this until the end of 12th class at least. So, yeah, make sure that you learn the atomic numbers for the first 20 elements, okay? All right, so with that being said, I'll just list it down. All right. Are you guys able to see the screen? Yeah. Okay. So atomic number is equal to the number of protons in an element, okay? So atomic number is equal to the number of protons in an element. So every element has different number of protons. For example, hydrogen has 1 proton, helium has 2 protons, lithium has 3 protons, beryllium 4, boron 5, carbon 6, nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, fluorine 9, neon 10. Okay, so similarly, you have some more, and the list goes on till 20. All right. So all of these are atomic numbers. Okay, so these are the first 10 elements of the periodic table, and atomic number is equal to the number of protons. Does everybody know what protons are? Okay, let me just start a poll for that as well. I have to make sure everybody knows it. Hold on 1 second. Satvika, Sahas, do you guys know what protons are? Satvika, I'm waiting for your response. Okay, Nandini, so you don't know what proton is, right? Just confirming. Okay, so do you know what an atom is, Nandini? Okay, all right. So atom is, for example, I have, let's say this is my phone, okay? This is my phone, and now in this phone, the smallest thing, like this phone is made up of plastic, glass, lots of different things, right? So now if I take this glass, just this glass, or if I take plastic, whatever, for now I'm going to take this glass, okay? So this glass has a lot of, like, what is this glass made up of? We know it is made up of glass, but what is the glass itself made up of? It is made up of molecules or, different substances. Okay, now within these substances, there are atoms. So within this, there are atoms. Okay, so these atoms, these smaller substances, this is the smallest unit of matter. For example, if glass is my matter, then within the matter, there are molecules of that particular substance. Within the molecules, there are atoms. Okay, now within the atoms, there are like the structure of an atom itself is like you have a nucleus, kind of like the solar system. Okay, you have the nucleus in the middle, and the nucleus has positively charged particles inside. Those are called protons. There are also neutrally charged particles inside. I mean, there are also neutral particles inside. Yeah, so there are inside the nucleus, there are also neutral particles inside the nucleus, and these are called neutrons. Okay, so inside the nucleus you have neutrons and protons both, and surrounding the nucleus you have electrons. Okay, so these electrons revolve around the nucleus just like the planets revolve around the sun, and this is a structure of an atom. Atom is the smallest unit of any matter. Any matter that you see around you, it is the smallest unit. Just like how cell is the smallest unit in biology, in living beings, similarly atoms is the smallest unit of matter in non-living things. Okay, or even in living things, whatever, like in everything, atom is the smallest unit. Now, atom has, the structure of atom looks like this. It has, positive charge and neutrons inside the nucleus like the sun, and electrons revolving around the nucleus like planets revolve around the. Does that make sense, Nandini? Okay, no problem. All right, so now let us, so we know what protons are. So this positively charged particles that are inside the nucleus are called protons. Okay, so these protons determine the atomic number of an element. Okay, so if the atomic number of an element is 1, for example hydrogen, the structure of hydrogen is, it has one proton in the middle and one electron going around this nucleus. This is the nucleus. In the nucleus, there is just one proton, and then there is one electron going around this nucleus. Okay, so this, notice that there are no neutrons. In hydrogen atom, there are no neutrons, only protons and electrons. Okay, and that too one proton and one electron in the hydrogen nucleus, in the hydrogen atom. Now, if we look at the total number of charges, I know there is one proton, so I'm going to write +1 for proton because proton is positively charged. And there is one electron, so I'm going to write -1 because electron is negatively charged. And now when I add these two up, it becomes 0. So that means my net charge on hydrogen atom is 0. Net charge equal to 0. Okay. Now, helium has 2 protons inside the nucleus and it has 2 neutrons inside the nucleus. Okay. And around this, it has 2 electrons revolving around. Sorry, that's a very bad diagram. Okay. So around the nucleus, electrons revolve, and it has 2 electrons revolving around the nucleus. So it has 2 positive charges. So I'm just going to put +2. And it has 2 negative charges. So I'm going to put -2. When I add this up, it is 0. So the net charge on helium is also 0. Now the net charge on all of these atoms similarly will always be 0. Now it has to be 0 because the number of electrons is equal to the number of protons. Okay, so but remember, atomic number is always given by the number of protons, not by the number of electrons and not by the number of neutrons. Okay, so in a neutral atom where the net charge is equal to 0, in a neutral atom, number of electrons will be equal to the number of protons. Okay.